Hello and welcome back to Pentiment, a medieval murder mystery narrative adventure game. In the previous episode, I only had a few hours remaining to complete my investigations. I questioned Prior Ferenc about his occult activities, I talked to Sister Matilda about her run-in with the Baron, and I discussed Sister Matilda with Mother Cecilia and found out that the Baron had beat her terribly because she refused his romantic advances. I tried to get Otto to help me dig up a grave, possibly to find the murder weapon that Prior Ferenc had hidden there, but I ran out of time. All I could do was have lunch with him and his father instead, before I went off to meet with the Archdeacon. Please state your name for our records. Andreas Mahler, journeyman artist from Nuremberg. Andreas, son of Josef Mahler, master artist from Nuremberg. Andreas Mahler, artist, recently of Ghent. I can say this because of the background I chose, but I'm going to say son of Josef Mahler, master artist from Nuremberg. This will be remembered. What is an artist doing in Kearsarge Abbey? The Abbey still has some commissions from wealthy patrons, and I need the money before I return to Nuremberg. I ask myself that sometimes. Haha, work is work, does it matter? I'm not going to say that. Why don't you ask the abbot? I'll be honest, the Abbey still has some commissions from wealthy patrons, and I need the money before I return to Nuremberg. Arnold, please write that down. I think we're ready to begin. Of course, Your Reverence. Now then, Master Mahler, what was your relation to Lorenz, the Baron Rothvogel? I knew him for a day, but we were on friendly terms. Incidental acquaintances, nothing more. I'll be honest, I knew him for a day, and he was very friendly with me. Do you feel you had a sense of him as a person? Yes, Your Reverence. No, Your Reverence. Yes, I definitely have a sense of him. How would you characterize him? A fine man, a lover of art and knowledge, confident, overbearing, used to getting what he wants. A nobleman, for all of the good and ill that goes along with that title. I wouldn't pick any of these. Alright, he's a lover of art and knowledge. Sure. Do I want to say he's a fine man? I mean, I think they said the Archdeacon was friends with the Baron's friends or something. People in high places, so I'll say that. That was the opinion of Father Gurneau and the Lady Salamea as well. Do you believe everyone regarded him with the same warmth? No, Your Reverence. It's clear that some locals had little love for the Baron. Yeah, I'll say that. As unfortunate as that is, such knowledge may be a boon to us at this moment. The Baron Rothvogel was murdered here, in this very room. Someone did it. Father Gurneau believes it was one of his monks, Brother Piero. I have met with Brother Piero and questioned him at length. While it seems unlikely that a man of his age and temperament could murder the Baron, he was discovered in flagrante delicto. Say nothing. He wasn't, though. The Baron was already dead. Yeah, I'll say that. Stop talking. If you wish to advocate on behalf of Brother Piero, I suggest shutting your mouth until I ask you a question. All right, Dick. Piero had reasons to resent the Baron, the loss of his work, the insistence on discussing the writings of the troublemaker from Wittenberg. And as for his age and infirmity, I myself have read of many cases in which a man of modest strength succumbs to the temptations of the devil. Once seized by a devilish fever, the poor sinner gains an infernal power that allows him to inflict grievous wounds, sometimes fatal. What I am saying is that in spite of the curious circumstances, Brother Piero is the most plausible perpetrator of this most vile act. No, he's not. If you had taken a look at the body, you would see that the Baron was smashed over the head, he didn't die from the stab wounds. If you had talked to Brother Florian, you'd know that. I understand that you are on friendly terms with Brother Piero. You also interacted with the Baron both in the town and at the Abbey. Did you witness anything that suggests someone else could have murdered Baron Rothvogel? Yeah. Lucky Steinauer argued with the Baron. One of the nuns, Sister Matilda, may have wished revenge on the Baron. A widow in Tassing, Attilia Kemperyn, hated the Baron. The Abbey's prior Ferenc was behaving suspiciously the day of the Baron's arrival. He may have had a motive. A local thief, Martin Bauer. Of all of these people, I'm pretty sure the widow didn't do it because she's old and it's hard enough for her, so she says, to walk from her bed to the door, let alone do all of the chores around her house. I had to help her with all of her household chores. So I doubt she could have walked all the way up to the Abbey and hit the Baron in the head and killed him. The Baron didn't die immediately. We know that from the autopsy and maybe from the fact that there was blood on the wall in the room. He may have been murdered somewhere else and staggered into the room. He may have staggered around a bit before he actually died. It seems unlikely that an old woman killed him, just like it's unlikely that Brother Piero killed him. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it seems unlikely. And the widow also received a note luring her to the murder site, but I don't think she could read the note because when I was at her house, I had to read it to her. Like, she said that her old eyes couldn't read it or something like that, I seem to remember. However, she's being thrown off her land and she has no children and she expects to die soon anyway, or wants to die soon anyway, because her husband is dead. So turning her in as a scapegoat is also a possibility. Because if they say, oh, she did it, and they hang her for the murder, it saves Brother Piero, but then it lets the actual murderer go free. Don't really want that. I don't think Sister Matilda did it. I think that she had moved past her hatred of the Baron, and I just don't think that I don't know, I just don't think she would have done it. Based on talking to Mother Cecilia and talking to other people, and I think Brother Waislaw, was that his name? I think that he was kind of implying that she had an alibi, that she was with him in the woods, or maybe they were together or something at the time of the murder in the middle of the night. So yeah, no, I just don't think it was Sister Matilda. She just doesn't seem like she wants vengeance. Now, as for Martin Bauer, he did rob the Baron, we're pretty sure. But did he murder the Baron? Most folks in town don't think that he did. And I think Martin's just too lazy to have gone to the trouble of murdering the Baron. We don't have any evidence that Martin ever received a letter to lure him to the chapter house. We could use him as a scapegoat and get him out of the town so that he can't cause any more problems to his wife and everyone else. But I don't know, that's not really fair to Martin. I mean, even though he's told me to eat shit multiple times, it doesn't necessarily mean I want him to be hung for murder. I really think that Lucky is the murderer, or a very strong candidate for being the murderer, because he's strong, he has his stonemason's hammer, he has some reason to commit the murder, but I never did figure it out because I didn't have enough time to investigate it. He was praying for the souls of two innocents, and one of the notes that I saw, one of the mysterious notes that were sent, luring people to murder the Baron, seemed to indicate that there was something to do with two innocents who were killed because of the Baron. I'm thinking the Baron got someone pregnant. This is my theory. I think that maybe Lucky had a daughter that the Baron got pregnant, and she died in childbirth, and so she and her child are dead, and those are the two innocents that they're talking about. But I have absolutely no proof of that, and I was hoping when I went to the spinning bee that the folks in town would mention it, and I was hoping when I had lunch with Lucky that I could ask him about it, but the game did not give me any opportunity to do so, and so that's really frustrating. Because I think if this were, if you were really if this were real life and you were trying to investigate a murder and you were sitting down to lunch with a guy, you would ask him about the innocence that he prayed for before supper. You know, he's sitting there praying, you know, please God save the souls of the innocents, and you know that was in the note that you found. I mean, that just, I don't know. It's weird that the game didn't let me find out anything about it. Or if he had a daughter who died from being pregnant from the Baron, you would think that everyone in town would know about it and they would have talked about it at the spinning bee, but they didn't. So, I don't know. That's kind of weird. But in any case, I think Lucky might very well be the murderer, but I don't even know if he's literate. Like, maybe if he received a note, I have no proof that he got a note or anything. If he had received a note, maybe he couldn't even read the note he received. I don't know if it's been said anywhere in the game that Lucky could read, because a lot of people could not read back then. So if he got a note, he wouldn't have known to even go and kill the Baron. And he certainly isn't the person who wrote the notes, because there's no way that a stonemason is creating beautiful calligraphy. So that leaves the Abbey's prior Ferenc. And Ferenc was extremely evasive when I was questioning him, and I questioned him thoroughly. Now, if I felt like he had been more forthcoming, I might be less suspicious, but I am highly suspicious of him. He may even be the one who wrote the notes, because he works in the scriptorium. He would have access to ink and be very good at calligraphy. And maybe the note that we found burned in his fireplace was one that he was writing to someone and then decided to throw away. He would certainly have a motive for killing the Baron, because the Baron was blackmailing him to do occult rituals and threatening to turn him into the Inquisition. And if the Baron died here at the Abbey, it might make the abbot look bad, and then Ferenc could become abbot. So he had more than one motive. And he certainly had means and opportunity, though I have not found a murder weapon. The murder weapon is probably the thing that he buried in the grave that we didn't have enough time to dig up. Yeah, I'm going to go with Ferenc. That is an extraordinary claim, Andreas. The abbot speaks highly of the prior, and he oversees both your and Brother Piero's work, does he not? Yes, your reverence. Yes, but Prior Ferenc's role in the scriptorium has little bearing on his motive. I'll say that. An extraordinary claim requires extraordinary evidence for me to take it seriously. Why should I take the word of an artist over a respected officer of this abbey? I can provide evidence of Prior Ferenc's motive. Please do so. On the day that the Baron arrived, I secretly observed Prior Ferenc in the scriptorium. Baron Rothvogel and Prior Ferenc were exchanging letters about performing a magic ritual. Yeah, I've got proof of that. I've got the copies of the letters, so... You have proof? I have a letter the Prior wrote to the Baron. In it, the Prior mentions that he will not perform a ritual for the Baron, even if the Baron does follow through on a threat to implicate him to Inquisitors in Innsbruck. An implication of necromancy is a serious matter. The Prior's position would have been in peril, possibly even his life. And how do you believe Prior Ferenc would have killed the Baron? I pray you will not say it was a magical ritual. I am not certain, your reverence. Ah, a troublesome wrinkle. Is there anything else to say about the Prior? On the day that the Baron arrived, I secretly observed Prior Ferenc in the scriptorium. Was this an intentional, covert observation? No, I was working alone and had dropped something on the floor. The Prior did not know I was there. Yeah, I'll say that. Very well, continue. He wrote a note, a cipher, in a book. It was associated with a vowel that he used to encode something in it. Yes, what had he encoded? I am not certain, but it is very suspicious. Master Mailer, could you please confine your remarks to information that leads somewhere useful? What? But I did decode it. I decoded the message, and it said to go to the grave, and I went to the grave, and there's something buried there. I should be able to tell him that. Come on. Now, do you have any other evidence against the Prior? No. Very well. Who else may have wanted to see the Baron dead? Well, I'm not going to implicate Lucky, because I still believe that Lucky's a good guy. A lot of people in town have said he's a good guy. And I think he had a daughter that the Baron got pregnant. That's my theory. I know I can't base it on theory, but like I don't have any proof that he was involved. I'm not going to implicate the nun. I think she has an alibi. The local thief. Alright, I'm going to be honest about Martin. Even though I don't think that Martin did it, I still got to be honest about Martin being a robber. His name has come up in my inquiries. My understanding is that he absconded with some of the Baron's valuables. Arnold? Yes, your reverence. A silver ring, a gold ring, 12 golden, 10 groschen. What are groschen? A type of thick silver coin minted throughout the Holy Roman Empire, typically worth 12 pfennigs. Huh, I didn't hear about that. And a book intended as a gift for the Abbey. Thank you. It is my understanding that this boy was known as a thief, but also a coward. And that the theft was from the Abbey's guest house after the Baron had already left it. Even so, it's still possible he could have committed the murder, your reverence. Very well, your reverence. Yeah, I don't think Martin did it. I am not treating him as a serious suspect for the Baron's murder at this time. Who else may have wanted to see the Baron dead? Alright, if I turn in the Widow, it's very possible that she could take the blame. That's really cruel. God, this is choosing the lesser of two evils here, because I don't think the Widow did it either. But the Widow wanted to tear her cross off of the wall, and she says a lot of bad things about the Abbey, and you know what, if she keeps running her mouth like that, she's going to bring the Inquisition down on the whole village, and then innocent people really could get in trouble, and she doesn't seem to give a shit. So, honestly, at the end of the day, I would rather she went down than Brother Piero or anyone else. So, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say the Widow. What cause did she have? The Baron was responsible for the death of her husband. Responsible how? Years ago, when the Baron visited Tasting, he quarreled with Rannig Kemper. The two came to blows. According to the Widow, the Baron beat Rannig so severely that he never fully healed from the injuries. He died not long ago, and their home is in legal jeopardy. The Widow held the Baron responsible for all of this. And how do you propose this woman killed the Baron? He was not in the prime of his life, but certainly a robust man, by all accounts. Even a healthy man can be killed by a blow to the back of the head. When I visited the Widow's home, I found her late husband's walking stick. The head had been broken off. What do you mean he wasn't in the prime of his life? Everybody kept saying he was in his prime, he's in his prime. And she's an old woman. But like, you know, Piero's an old man. So if you're willing to believe Brother Piero could do it, you'd be willing to believe the Widow could do it. Alright, I'm going to talk about the walking stick. Did she have an explanation for the damage? I did not ask her, your reverence. Yeah, I did. Didn't I? I thought I did. She just said it had broken recently or whatever. Attilia Kemperyn is a good woman, but she has been made hard by what happened to her husband. Is she, though? Is she a good woman? We don't know that. I mean, she's willing to run her mouth and bring the Inquisition down on the whole village, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Interesting. Thank you, Master Mailer. Do you have knowledge of anyone else who would want to kill the Baron? Yep, I'm not doing it. Alright, I'll let them both off the hook. I can think of no one else. Because you know what? As much as I want to save Brother Piero is an old man. He's a very down-to-earth, wise old dude. He's got a very good soul, and I know that he would not want to be spared at the expense of Sister Matilda or of the stonemason. Because the stonemason's also very important to the Abbey and important to the village people to fix all the, you know, fences and walls and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't think Brother Piero would want me to save him at their expense, so I'm just going to let it go at that. I don't think Brother Piero would want me to save him at anyone else's expense, to be honest, even the Widow. So, you know, he's a better person than I am. Very well. Are you aware of anything else that might shed some light on this case? Has Brother Florian told you about the note he found in the Baron's clothing? Yes, Brother Florian explained how he came to find it and told me its contents. Master Adeljaeger has entered his testimony in our register. I don't understand the implications. Who is the innocent? It's not clear to me either, Your Reverence. Do you believe the murderer wrote it? Whoever wrote it was a talented scribe. I understand Kirsah has two, the elderly brother Idok and the younger brother Guy. To be frank, Your Reverence, neither man has the skill to write in this way. There's something else about it, too. The style is just different. It's unlike Idok and Guy's writing, unlike mine. Something about the way the first and second strokes meet on the A and G. I can use my Craftsman background. Okay. Yes, well, whatever the particulars, it seems it will remain a mystery that stands apart from the commission of the murder. Unfortunately, there is more to tell. I found more notes. Oh, did I? Notes written in the same hand, on the same type of parchment, to those who had a motive to kill the Baron. That is deeply troubling, but again, beyond the bounds of my investigation. Is it, though? Somebody's writing a bunch of mysterious notes and the Baron gets murdered and you think that's not important? In any case, I thank you for bringing it to my attention. Of course, Your Reverence. Thank you again for your time, Master Mailer. Would it be impertinent of me to opine on who the killer is? Of course, Your Reverence. Oh, wow. I should be successful in persuading Jacob because I gave my name politely. However, I interrupted to explain Piero wasn't actually caught killing the Baron. But it still gives me a blue line with a blue check mark, so I should be able to do this. Not at all. You are an educated man and have conducted yourself appropriately in this inquiry. I reserve final judgment, of course, but who do you believe killed the Baron? Considering all of the evidence, on second thought, I'd rather not influence your decision. Considering all the evidence... Oh, man. Look at this. This is all the stuff I investigated that's in my journal. There were letters. There's the Volvel. Ferenc's cipher. Ferenc's been acting strangely. Burned remnants of a note. Piece of paper on Ferenc's desk. He was defensive and evasive. Brother Gerhardt's grave has been disturbed. Alright, alright. I'm gonna go with Ferenc. Prior Ferenc, Your Reverence. His behavior on the day of the Baron's arrival revealed his anxiety about the situation. Others may have had a motive, but Prior Ferenc had the most to lose. Yeah, I think that's true. Noted. Your contributions to this inquiry are appreciated. Thank you for your time and candor. You're quite welcome, Your Reverence. I wanted to help in any way I could. I know in my heart that Brother Piero is innocent. I'll just say you're quite welcome. Until later, Master Mailer. Until then, Your Reverence. Final day of law and judgment. Andreas, I didn't think you were coming to this. I didn't think I was either. I suppose I wanted to see how this ends. Well, here I am. I wouldn't want to miss it. Now I'll say I want to see how it ends. I knew the Widow Kemperyn was angry about Rannick's death, but I didn't think she would really kill the Baron. Ooh, are they going to burn the Widow Kemperyn? You missed the trial, Andreas. A magistrate from Mittenwald came in, read all of the charges, and found her guilty. She's near the end of her life. I don't think she has anything left to live for. I don't think she did it. The magistrate is wrong. I guess the lesson is to not cross an old woman. I don't think she did it. I'll say that. I'm sure Johann won't shed too many tears about it. Peter. You know it's true. He wants old Rannick's farm, and if this is how he gets it, he'll take it. Oh, here comes the procession. This is like an Agatha Christie mystery where like everyone in town had a reason to murder the Baron, honestly. Because the more I dig into all of the ins and outs of everything in the town, it could have been anyone. I mean, maybe that guy that wants Attilia's farm is the one who killed the Baron. And hoped that she would take a fall for it. Did I miss anything? No, you're fine. Andreas. I mean, maybe Wolslav killed the Baron because he knows the Baron beat up Sister Matilda that he's in love with. And there's so many people that could have had so many reasons to commit the murder. Otto. Agnes Day. What are you all looking at? Coitus Pecamunda. I guess he's praying. Isn't this what you bastards always wanted? Well, now you'll be rid of me. I mean, even Lenhard might have been the one that killed the Baron, honestly. I order the executioner to carry out his duty. I warrant him peace and safe conduct, whatever may befall him. Well, get on with it. Watch or look away. I'll watch. Man, they brought their kids and everything? That's cold. Give the kids nightmares. They didn't even hang her, just strangled her? Yikes. My Lord Judge, have I executed well? You have executed as judgment and law have required. For that I thank God and my master who has taught me such art. Alright, this is a cutscene. I'm not controlling him. I suppose I have you to thank for that, huh? What? Thank? Why? What are you talking about? Thank the magistrate. It has nothing to do with me. Yeah, thank the magistrate. If you say so, still, it's appreciated. Yeah, I'll say nothing. Well, see you later, Andreas. Separation. Andreas, has the time come for you to leave us? I'm afraid so, Brother Piero. This is a sad parting, but inevitable. I had hoped you would stay a bit longer. But the world needs you more than Kearsaw does. You have grown beyond this old abbey and become a master in your own right. I will miss you, my son, as I will you. Come, your masterpiece is complete. May I see it one last time before you go? Please, I value your assessment. The opinion of one old monk matters little. All the same, I am excited to see it finished at last. Oh, wow. It is a masterpiece, truly worthy of the word. Oh, that's cool. And it appears you took my advice to heart. What advice was that? To put yourself into the work, not just to interpret another artist's work, but to transform it into something true. This shows the world as it is, as you have seen it, even if it is not what we may want to see. Though it is not my place to say so, I am proud of you, Andreas. Oh, a little scrap of paper. What's this? A scrap of parchment? Oh! Do not return here. A warning? Ooh, it's in that purple ink and fancy writing as all of the other notes that were written. The notes written to the Baron and to all of the suspects in the murder, luring them to the chapter house. Oh my gosh. So they're still alive and they know that I was investigating. Whose hand is this? It doesn't look like Brother Idox or Brother Guy's. Brother Florian and I found a similar note in the Baron's clothing. It's strange, but nothing to be concerned over. No, I'm going to tell him. And I found more notes delivered to others while I was investigating. Someone was trying to manipulate him into going to the chapter house in the middle of the night. Yeah, I'll tell him that I found other notes delivered while investigating. They must have been written by someone who knew the darkest secrets of the town and this abbey. They tugged at those secrets to kill the Baron, like someone pulling at threads that had been buried in the past. Hey, did we ever dig up the grave? I mean, after the trial, he still could have gone back and dug up the grave just to see what was in it. Oh my gosh. A frightening thought, but who would do such a thing? I wish I knew. God knows. Yeah, I wish I knew. Do not trouble yourself overly about it. Your future lies outside of these walls. I hope that you will have time to visit me once or twice in your travels before the Lord takes me. I'll come as often as I can. I'm sure we'll see each other again. I'll come as often as I can. I would like that. God bless you, Andreas Mailer. Thank you for your friendship until next time. Thank you for your guidance until later. God bless you, Brother Piero. Oh, what am I going to say? I want to thank him for his friendship. Aww. Oh, I've aged. Is that me? Oh my gosh, it is me. Are you alright, Master Andreas? What? Are you alright, Master Andreas? Yes, thank you. I was just remembering him. Oh, he's buried under the apple tree. That was an apple tree. In the cemetery. Trying to, anyway. It doesn't come easily anymore. Oh, would you like me to leave you alone? No, Casper, it's not necessary. There's nothing to be done about it now. It's too late. Like so many things. Andreas Mailer, I never expected to see your face here again. Have you been in Nuremberg for these last 7 years? No, Nuremberg for a few years, but I received some lucrative commissions abroad. Oh my gosh! I get to pick more backgrounds. Wow! I could say I was in Poland. Andreas knows some Polish. I could be in England. Andreas knows some English. France and Aragon. I'm going to go with England. I was in London mostly. I was well received there and painted portraits for the nobility and prominent merchants. Did you encounter any Jews among your clients? What kind of question is that? No, that there was rumor of a home for Jewish converts to Christianity in the city. Why? I had heard of a handful physicians naturalized as citizens after the expulsion. I had heard of a handful physicians? Shouldn't it be like, I heard that a handful of physicians were naturalized as citizens after the expulsion? I don't know, that's an awkward sentence. I wondered if they might have found a home in England after their recent ejections from Portugal and Navarre. I'm surprised you care at all. In any case, it seems time and fortune have been kind to you. I apologize for not writing ahead of time. My mind has been distracted. Sorry to just drop in unannounced. It wasn't planned. I was just passing through. I suppose 7 years is a long time. I'll say I was just passing through. Yes, well, we weren't planning on accommodating any guests, so don't be too surprised by the state of things. Anyway, I'm surprised a man of your wealth has time to visit a small country abbey. There it is, Casper. Brother Guy has a spirit as bitter as lemon and sour as old milk. You haven't changed at all, still the same asshole. I'll say there it is, Casper. A spirit as bitter as lemon. You would too if you were trapped in this drafty old pile of rubble. If you'll follow me, I'll show you to the guest house. Your boy may stay as well, of course. He's my apprentice, Casper, and we appreciate the hospitality. Revolution, June 1525. When was the last time someone stayed here? Everything's so musty. Master Andreas, how did you come to be so well known at Kearsaw? I thought you spent your Wanderjahre in Flanders. I did, but I finished them here, earning money in the scriptorium while I finished my masterpiece. Really? I didn't think Abbey still had scriptoria. They don't, and Kyrsa doesn't anymore, for better or worse. I suppose I should tell you there was a murder at the Abbey while I was here. What? Really? It was a dreadful affair. It may sound strange, but it was thrilling. No, I'll say it was a dreadful affair. Father Gernot panicked and accused my friend, Brother Piero, of committing the crime. I did some searching and managed to convince the Archdeacon that someone else was the murderer. One of the peasants, Widow Kemperyn, died for the crime. You got someone killed? Yes. It was that or let an innocent man die. You know, it was long ago. I really don't want to talk about it. I didn't get her killed, though. I mean, I suggested that she might have been involved. But I had picked Ferenc as the one who did it, and the magistrate or whatever was the one that decided to kill Attilia. So it wasn't my fault. I'm just going to say it was a long time ago. Why didn't you mention it before? That must have been a terrible situation to be in. I made some missteps, but I saved my friend's life. Hard but exhilarating. I said I don't want to talk about it. I'll say I made some missteps, but I saved my friend's life in the end. So what are we doing in Tassing now? I wanted to pay my respects to Brother Piero. And to be honest, I'm not looking forward to returning to Nuremberg. This commission, it's an obscene vanity piece under the pretext of a religious scene. My patrons just want to celebrate themselves and their wealth. Well, yeah, isn't that, I mean, if you want to make money as an artist, you got to make things that rich people are going to give you a bunch of money for, and that usually means pandering to their vanity. I dread each new commission more than the last. Every step I take toward home is agonizing. But Master, you're famous and rich. Your work is wonderful. When I saw your altarpiece in Nuremberg, I begged my father to help me become your apprentice. I don't understand how you could accomplish all that you have and be unhappy. Let me tell you, kid. I know, it must be hard to believe. I was once very much like you. All that I have accomplished is my work, yes. Now I am left hollow with nothing else left. I thought I wanted to be like my father, like my brothers. I thought that was my dream. Oh, man. I'm going to say that. I am left hollow. I wanted this life so much that it consumed my every waking thought. I don't know if I've changed or if what I wanted was never really real. Maybe I've been a fool this whole time. I want life as an artist to be better for you, Casper. Learn from my mistakes. So this is what you have to look forward to, Casper, a life of disappointment. No, I'm going to tell him to learn from my mistakes. All right, Master Andreas. I shouldn't be burdening you with such dark thoughts, Casper. Come, let's visit my old friend Claus. It's been too long. As you like, Master Andreas. All right, that has been a very exciting episode of Pentiment. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you will come back to watch me play Act 2 and find out what happens to Andreas and the village of Tassing 7 years later. If you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my channel for tons and tons of video game content, let's play videos, and more. If you'd like to support the channel, I have YouTube Super Thanks and YouTube channel memberships. I'm no longer using Patreon. Take care of yourselves until next time. Bye!